Allen Davis Insurance Agency is your solutions provider. You can trust the experienced professionals at Allen Davis Insurance to protect your assets. Call today and start saving money with multi-policy discounts and more for auto, home, life, business, recreational, total farm protection, and more. We are your solutions provider. Call today, 419-738-7447, or check us out on the web at allendavisinsurance.com.
It's just a few steps for tradition, for innovation. A few steps so we can all stay connected and live better lives. And just a few steps for all the Touchstone Energy Cooperative members who got us here. Learn more about the power of your co-op membership.
St. Mary's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has joined a network of elite agriculture dealers and put together a package of farm and ranch management tools on the hood of every new Ram truck sold. This exclusive St. Mary's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Ag Pack offers a bundle of farm management tools worth thousands of dollars with every new Ram truck sold. Call us today or visit us on the web at stmaryschrysler.com.
You get straight talk.
Midway Trailer Sales and Rodock Leasing and Sales are Ohio's only authorized Tempty hopper dealers. Tempty's value comes from a tradition of quality, which is also found here at Midway and Rodock. Remember, when you need to haul, give Midway a call.
Hello again, everyone. Big Dan Wilson with you from the studios of In Ohio Country Today, and this is your In Ohio Country Today podcast. And our guest today is Dr. Cindy Falk from Central State University. She's the program leader, agriculture and natural resources at CSU. Cindy, how you doing today?
I'm doing terrific. It's a beautiful day outside.
And let's hope it continues. Obviously, there's a lot of issues out there with the coronavirus, and I'm sure that Central State University is batting down the hatches, if you will. But more importantly, we want to talk about the future. And obviously, we're going to get through this coronavirus issue, and Central State University is going to be on that cutting edge of leading us through as far as extension is concerned and some of the programs that you have to offer. Before we talk about CSU Extension, we talk about agriculture and natural resources, which you're a part of. Let's talk a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your background, both professionally and personally.
Well, I've been at Central State University for just a year, so I'm new to the university, but I've been in Ohio agriculture for over 25 years. So I actually grew up on a beef cattle farm. We had a beef feedlot, fed out about 1,500 steers a year. So my roots in agriculture go back a long ways. And I've worked for certified Angus beef when I first got out of college. And then I went and worked for the pork producers. And having a background in livestock like that was very helpful for me, and it has been. And then after that, I actually went to work at soil and water conservation. I lived in Hardin County, and I worked for the Indian Lake Watershed as well as the Hardin County Soil and Water. So learned a lot about conservation and agronomy. And most recently, I was at Ohio State University Extension for 18 years. So wow. It's been fun to go from the big extension service and now to one that's just beginning.
That's very exciting. Let's talk a little bit about your personal life. I know you and your husband, Bob, very well, and you're doing some exciting things. You have a farm of your own, so let's talk about it.
That's right. That's right. We're small farmers, and for the last, it's been over 15 years now, we've been raising strawberries as our main crop. So we do all the small berries. We do strawberries, we do raspberries, we do blackberries, and our newest crop is currants. And we decided after 15 years of raising them to sell at farmers markets and different retail stores to keep those berries at home and start making wine. So we opened up Folk Winery 2 years ago, and that's just been a lot of fun. Yeah, so we have 3 children, and we also raise pigs. So they were very involved not only with the berry operation, but we have a farrow to finish, very small sow herd that we have. And they've all grown, and I have a daughter who works for Purdue in sports turf management.
Oh, wow.
I have another daughter yeah, it's very exciting. She graduated turfgrass management at Ohio State. And I have another daughter who graduated from ag engineering at Ohio State. It's now out in Montana, working for the Bureau of Land Management out there. And then I have a son who's still a student there at Ohio State. So we have a lot of Buckeyes in the family. A lot of my background has been taking scientific information and making it applicable for people to use on their farms and their businesses. So at Ohio State, I worked for the pesticide safety program, and a lot of my focus was developing materials for farmers and then anyone else in the field, such as turfgrass management, industrial vegetation, but they needed to understand the concepts of plant growth, the concepts of integrated pest management. And so a lot of my work was making sure that all of the research information we had could be translated in a way that was useful for people, whether it was on their job, for their farm, or for their business. And so as I've transitioned over to Central State, a lot of those things that I've learned from that have been very useful, because there's so much interest that people have into getting back to farming, learning about farming and wanting to be in agriculture. And so they don't have that wealth of knowledge within their families. And so a lot of them are taking it upon themselves to start learning. And so being able to translate a lot of that scientific research information we have and making it applicable to where people are is something I really enjoy doing. Anytime that we can help people, I like to call it, get their hands dirty, the more appreciative they are of the people.
I like that. Boots on the ground, get their hands in the dirt. I love it.
That's right. And that way they have a better appreciation of people that do that as their living. Because a lot of times, I think it was Dwight Eisenhower who had the quote that farming looks easy when you're 1,000 miles away and you're only plowing with a pencil.
Right on. That's great.
So yes, anything we can do to help get them actually out in the soil, working the soil, actually working with animals, I think they have a greater appreciation for what people do. And then that also helps them understand where the food is coming from and how things like natural disasters and different things will affect what farmers are able to do. A lot of our focus at Central State is how can we help farmers who may have small farms or farmers who may be socially disadvantaged. And what we mean by that is in a lot of areas, there's been farmers who maybe didn't have as much access to services as what they could have had. They might be new to the area, or they might be taking over farms that they're not familiar with. And so anything that we can do to work with folks who maybe need just a helping hand to help them get started in their farming operation or to make their farming operation more efficient. We do work with veterans also, and looking for ways that we can get people involved in farming who maybe haven't thought about being in farming before. And in addition to the urban farms, we also have a focus on rural farms. So one of the areas that we focus on is areas with high poverty rates. What are some ways that we can bring farming into those areas, and then also address some of the health issues that might be in the areas, and ways that we can also work with youth in those areas. So we're more than just in the urban areas. We're also looking at rural areas. And as we're getting ready to hire more personnel, and as we hire those, we're looking for areas in Ohio that they can be active in so that we can reach as many Ohioans as we can. Any place that you farm, there's always challenges. And so one of the challenges that we have in some of the urban areas is contaminated soils. Or we're working with hardscapes. For example, if a factory was in an area before and the factory building has been torn down,
right,
oftentimes they'll leave the asphalt parking lot. And so you're talking about acres of asphalt that used to be a parking lot that's really not usable. And so some of the high tunnel areas that we work with, that's where they go. We're also working with aquaponics, which is a system that takes aquaculture and hydroponics and combines them together, so you have both your produce and your protein in one system. And so really looking at things so that we want to make sure that these are farmers. So like with any farm, you need to be profitable. You need to be sustainable. And so things that we can do to work with them to make that farm be sustainable, because sustainability, it includes being stewardships of the environment and having a quality life. But as we know, any farm needs to be profitable. And so those are the things that we focus on as we work with farmers, is how can we help them be profitable to help make that farm sustainable. As with everything, it's hard to compare apples to oranges. And so a lot of things are different. But some of the challenges that they face in a situation like that is, if I'm having an operation that I have in a rural area, more than likely I have a well. In these areas, they may be paying for city water or needing access to water. And so those things become costs that normally you wouldn't have in a rural area, but in an urban area, you're having to take on those costs. And so those are the type of things that, I'm always impressed by the ingenuity of farmers, whether they're farmers that are farming 5,000 acres or farmers that are doing an intensive 5-acre lot. And the ingenuity of trying to find resources such as rainfall cisterns and solar power, just to try to cut their costs to make it more sustainable. I'm always impressed by what farmers come up with.
We're on the phone right now with Cindy Falk. Dr. Falk is the program leader in agriculture and natural resources at Central State University. We're going to take a time out. We'll be back right after this.
Welcome to the 30-second tour of your local poet plant. Local producers sell us tons of their grain. We grind it, mix it with water and special enzymes. The result is fermented, distilled, and dehydrated until it's 200 proof alcohol. Corn oil is extracted, and protein and nutrients are condensed, dried, and turned into animal feed, bringing our tour to an end with high-protein feed and cleaner-burning high-octane fuel. Visit poet.com to learn more.
It's just a few steps for tradition, for innovation. A few steps so we can all stay connected and live better lives. And just a few steps for all the Touchstone Energy Cooperative members who got us here. Learn more about the power of your co-op membership.
Our farm department is committed to providing ag professionals the products, coverages, and peace of mind needed to run a successful operation. With our home office located in the heart of farm country, many of us have first-hand experience when it comes to farming, and we know how to take out the risk. Under one policy, we can provide total protection of your investment, from your home and barns to your equipment and livestock. Come join us and experience the Salina difference.
Allen Davis Insurance Agency is your solutions provider. You can trust the experienced professionals at Allen Davis Insurance to protect your assets. Call today and start saving money with multi-policy discounts and more for auto, home, life, business, recreational, total farm protection, and more. We are your solutions provider. Call today, 419-738-7447, or check us out on the web at allendavisinsurance.com.
When you mow hay, you want something fast, efficient, and reliable. But how fast and efficient is your mower down the road? Be road ready in just 30 seconds with the MacDon R1 Series pool-type mowers from Apple Farm Service. Choose between 13 or 16-foot cuts with poly rollers, steel rollers, or finger conditioners. Then take it down the road in just 30 seconds with a skinny 9-foot transport width. Hurry! Carryover and demonstrator discounts are available on select R1 Series pool-type mower conditioners at Apple Farm Service.
S&S Volvo is your locally owned heavy-duty truck dealership in the area with a full line of Volvo and Isuzu trucks. We offer Volvo, Isuzu, Cummins, and GM parts and service weekdays until midnight until 4:30 p.m. on Saturdays. We also have leasing and rental options to meet your needs. We have the expertise to get and keep you on the road. Stop by at 2600 St. John's Road or visit us at ssvolvo.com to see our wide selection of new and used truck inventory. Welcome back to In Ohio Country Today podcast, and we're on the phone right now with Dr. Cindy Falk. She's the program leader, agriculture and natural resources at Central State University. Cindy, thanks for joining us.
Well, I'm happy to be here today.
Are you seeing yourself as somewhat of a liaison, if you will, between those potential farmers in the socially disadvantaged areas and those cities to try to find some kind of a partnership that they can work with? Because a lot of cities will offer incentives to new businesses that come in. They'll offer incentives to commercial businesses, whether it's in the form of tax credits or other types of utility credits, if you will, so that they could come in and start their business. Do you see yourself, or do you see the university being involved in those partnerships?
Yes, we're very involved with the different local governments that we work with, because one of the things that's unique for an urban farmer is the zoning requirements, where if I'm in an agricultural area, I might not have it zoned that I can't have livestock in this area. So if we have an urban situation and they're wanting to have laying hens, well, there might be the obstacle that there's no livestock that's able to be within the city limits. And so what are some ways that we can get around that? Or maybe they might not want the high tunnels because it's not zoned agricultural, it's supposed to be residential, consider that non-residential. So those there are some things that need to be worked out, but what we're seeing is that the local governments are recognizing that when you have a food desert where there's not a lot of accessible food for people that don't have transportation, having small farmers provides a place that people can go locally to get local products. And so a lot of them are willing to work with us, and a lot of it is connecting the dots and helping everyone see what the benefits are to having some of those farms there.
So in the long term, do you see this as something that we can get cities and urban areas to rally behind and support financially, as well as state and federal funds to be able to do that?
Well, we have here in Ohio where some federal funds have been made available for high tunnel development. There's a program that was started in Cleveland that's now being expanded to Cincinnati. And this is a program with low interest loan availability to groups who want to put up some high tunnels. And so through some federal funds, they're able to get the low interest loans, because sometimes capital isn't easily accessible for some of these groups. And so a program like this where they're able to access some capital to start the farm is very exciting. And I think we're going to see some of those type of programs expand to other cities in Ohio. So Central State, with our 4-H youth development, we do a lot of school enrichment programs. The populations that we work with tend to not always have transportation to be accessible to go to meetings and to go to events, but they're able to get a transportation to school. And we find that a lot of teachers, if the curriculum that the state has that they're teaching at the schools, if we can address some of the topics that they need to cover with the classes in an agricultural sense, then they're more willing to teach it in the classroom. And they're also excited because just like we have people becoming more passionate about farming and wanting to know where their food's coming from, that's teachers also and parents of children. And so we found a real interest in learning more about agriculture and incorporating it into school gardens. And we have a program where it's called a tower garden, and it's a hydroponic system that can be in a classroom. And so the students will be actually growing lettuce in their classroom. And so it's just a wonderful, yeah, it's great. And it's a wonderful example to help them see where the food comes from and not just see it, but enjoy it. So they kind of get the fruits of their labor. We hope as our 4-H program and our Ag and Natural Resources and other parts of Extension grow in these areas that maybe not have experienced a lot of agricultural education, that will light that fire for somebody who will want to have agriculture as part of their career. And as we know, agriculture is the largest industry in Ohio, and Ohio needs people who understand agriculture to work in in that industry. So we're hoping that this will help bring in a whole new group of people who are passionate about agriculture, who want to learn more, and then they want to graduate and contribute toward agriculture.
We're on the phone right now with Cindy Falk. Dr. Falk is the program leader in agriculture and natural resources at Central State University. We're going to take a time out. We'll be back right after this. Closed captioning paid for in part by the following. For 47 years, Ron Spencer has specialized in agricultural and commercial real estate. Ron remains active in sales and appraisals of farmland in Allen, Auglaize, Hancock, Hardin, Putnam, Paulding, Mercer, Van Wert, Logan, Union, and Shelby counties. Remember Ron Spencer when you're looking to buy or sell farmland. Work with a company that works for you. Ron Spencer Real Estate. Check him out on the web at rsre.com. That's rsre.com.
Our farm department is committed to providing ag professionals the products, coverages, and peace of mind needed to run a successful operation. With our home office located in the heart of farm country, many of us have first-hand experience when it comes to farming, and we know how to take out the risk. Under one policy, we can provide total protection of your investment, from your home and barns to your equipment and livestock. Come join us and experience the Salina difference.
Why trust your cutting to anything less than the best? Cut with the leaders of Tough from 1951. Bush Hog, available at your local Apple Farm Service. Built in Selma, Alabama and made to last with heavy-grade steel, Bush Hog mows over 30 million acres each year. Mow from 4 feet to 20 feet and cut up a 3-inch diameter brush with single spindles, multi-spindles, and flex-wing rotary cutters. Why trust your cutting to anything less than the best? Choose the Built Tough Bush Hog for performance you can count on. Available at your local Apple Farm Service.
Welcome back to In Ohio Country Today podcast, and we're on the phone right now with Dr. Cindy Falk. She's the program leader, agriculture and natural resources at Central State University. You know, it's really exciting what you guys are doing there at Central State University and developing and improving agriculture as a whole with your majors down there, and communication, which is your background, marketing, which is your background, incorporating those two into the future of what Central State University will have to offer is an important function, and I think that's something that means a lot to you, doesn't it?
It really does, and that's one of the reasons why I came to Central State, because I really saw it as an opportunity to help get things going and to get things moving. And one of the most exciting things that I have is I get to work so closely with farmers, and as an extension service, Central State is pretty small, but the nice thing is our smallness enables us to be able to work very closely with farmers on a one-to-one basis. When I was a little girl growing up, my grandfather actually was an extension educator.
Oh, wow.
For agriculture. And as a little girl, I used to ride around with him quite a bit. And his car was packed with papers because he carried every fact sheet extension had in his car. And
yeah, we didn't have computers back then. Yeah,
no, there was no internet to look it up on. And anytime we stopped to see a farmer, he'd want to leave a fact sheet behind to cover something that he had discussed one-on-one with that farmer. And so for me, Central State is that opportunity to work one-on-one with the farmers and really help identify, that challenge that they're facing at their farm. What information can we give them, to overcome that obstacle and then make their farm more successful?
You know, what's important to point out is, although we talk about this as being somewhat new for Central State University, this new voice that Central State University will have as far as agriculture and the development of agriculture here in the state of Ohio isn't really new. It's an 1890 land grant institution, and I think that's important to point out.
It is, because of the 1890 land grants, Central State is the newest, but the concept is well developed, and we're excited to be able to bring that focus on minority and socially disadvantaged and veteran farmers, that we can help them to be successful. And that's the cool thing about the 1890 network that we have, and it's exciting that we have other colleagues in other states that have kind of pioneered ways that we can work together and accomplish what we need to do.
Cindy, it's been a real pleasure. Dr. Cindy Folk has been our guest. She's the program leader, Agriculture and Natural Resources at Central State University. Cindy, if people want more information, where can they go?
Well, we have our website, so it's on the centralstate.edu, and it's a /CSU extension. And you can also like us on Facebook and check out our videos on YouTube.
Once again, Cindy Folk has been our guest. For more information, always check us out on the web. It's inohiocountry.com. That's inohiocountry.com.
Midway Trailer Sales and Rodock Leasing and Sales are Ohio's only authorized Tempe hopper dealers. Tempe's value comes from a tradition of quality, which is also found here at Midway and Rodock. Remember, when you need to haul, give Midway a call.
United Equity, Inc. is your locally owned farm-based cooperative. For agronomic services, we offer seed and a full line of dry and liquid fertilizer, as well as soil sampling by soil type, grid, or management zone to best utilize your fertilizer application. Call us to discuss agronomic services customized for you. Reach your best yields with United Equity, serving Allen, Auglaize, Mercer, Putnam, and Van Wert counties. Visit us on the web at unitedequityinc.com. St. Mary's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has joined a network of elite agriculture dealers and put together a package of farm and ranch management tools on the hood of every new Ram truck sold. This exclusive St. Mary's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Ag Pack offers a bundle of farm management tools worth thousands of dollars with every new Ram truck sold. Call us today or visit us on the web at stmaryschryslerDodgeJeep.com.